Imagine cancer cells as travelers planning an ambitious cross-country road trip, initially confined to their hometown in the colon. For a while, they remain limited by surrounding tissues and the body's natural defenses, stuck in place like cars idling in a quiet parking lot. A new study in Nature Metabolism shows that sugary drinks, sodas, sweet teas, energy drinks, act like an invisible fueling station, providing the perfect combination of glucose and fructose to energize these cells and prepare them for the journey ahead. It's not that sugar causes cancer directly, but once tumor cells exist, these beverages give them a powerful metabolic boost, increasing their ability to move, survive stress, and ultimately colonize distant organs. In other words, sugary drinks are quietly acting as co-pilots in one of cancer's most dangerous maneuvers, metastasis. At the center of this process is the enzyme SORD, sorbitol dehydrogenase, which functions like the mechanic and map reader combined. SORD converts fructose and glucose into metabolites that serve two main purposes. First, glucose floods the energy pathways, providing ADP that powers movement and cell activity, essentially filling the tank for the journey. Fructose, transformed by SORD, provides building blocks for membranes, proteins, and nucleotides, reinforcing the structural integrity of the cells and enabling them to survive the stresses of travel through the bloodstream. The combination is a perfectly tuned supply chain, energy and raw materials delivered together, allowing cancer cells to move efficiently and adapt to new environments. What is particularly encouraging about this research is that it identifies a very clear target for intervention. By understanding that SORD is central to how cancer cells utilize sugar for movement and growth, scientists can now focus on developing drugs that block this enzyme. Such therapies could effectively cut off the fuel line for metastatic cells, slowing or even halting their spread while leaving normal cells relatively unaffected. This opens the door for precision treatments that are smarter, more targeted, and potentially less toxic than conventional chemotherapy. On a practical, everyday level, the study also gives individuals actionable insight. Reducing sugary drink intake isn't just about avoiding empty calories. It becomes a tangible way to limit the resources cancer cells could exploit. Choosing water, unsweetened teas, or naturally flavored sparkling beverages most of the time creates an internal environment that is less favorable for cancer mobility and growth. Even small, consistent reductions can have a meaningful impact, making the internal road conditions for cancer less supportive of metastasis. This study highlights a broader principle. Metabolism is not just a passive process, but a central factor in disease progression. What we consume directly shapes the internal environment in which cells operate, influencing their behavior at the molecular level. By identifying both the culprit, sugary drinks, and the enzyme that mediates their effect, SORD, researchers have illuminated a pathway where both lifestyle interventions and medical therapies can converge to reduce risk and improve outcomes. So while sugary drinks may act as co-pilots on cancer's road trip, this research shifts the narrative from inevitability to action. Knowledge of the sugar-SORD pathway gives us the tools to slow down or even stop cancer cells in their tracks. It shows that the journey doesn't have to be fatal. With informed dietary choices and future therapies targeting SORD, we can limit cancer's mobility, reduce its impact, and protect long-term health. Far from a story of fear, this is a story of clarity, empowerment, and hope, a reminder that every sip matters and that both science and everyday choices can influence cancer's route.